Hey girl, every time you get on the world's internet, not just the city but the world, you see a brand new product that you need to spend about $600 for just to treat your hair as a black woman, because for whatever reason the regular combs and brushes and blow dryers and flat irons that have been out for decades are not good enough, and we need these machines that cost hundreds of dollars. Today we are gonna unpack that. So if you're easily offended, my baby, this will not be the video for you. So don't leave your I have a dream speeches below. I'm just gonna delete it, and if you rude, you're gonna get blocked. So make sure you subscribe here to my channel and click that bell notification if you are new, so you are always notified. But let's hop right into this, and then after we go through this, I'm going to show you the proper way to do it and how the wrong way leads to something that you really don't want. So let's go, Lord. Oh my God, these products just keep getting worse and worse. First we had the blow dryer, the RevAir air blow dryer, that's $500. Now we have a $600 flat iron that dries and straightens your hair at the same time with no heat. Oh my God.
Hey my loves, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be reviewing Dyson's air straight. Now this is a straightener that uses just air. I went for the event a couple of weeks back and it was beautiful to see curly natural hair go straight in seconds without any heat. Now if you've been following me, if you know me, you know that I've suffered from heat damage a while back. I had to cut my hair. I lost my hair in the whole process after getting like a silk press, and you know, I straightened my hair. I saw a lot of smoke, but because I was very ignorant at that time, I felt like, oh, it's heat, they're straightening hair, so obviously there's gonna be like some sort of smoke.
Most people don't like different opinions, so I'm blocking faces out to the best of my ability, but I need y'all to pay attention. This is a demo, right? They are literally testing this product out. I tell everybody, especially in the challenge, don't even buy a product until it's been out on the market for at least a year. If y'all pay attention, I love me some Olaplex, but their new leave-in conditioner, you haven't seen me make a video about it, and you won't until the product's been on the market for about a year, because I am not a test dummy, nor am I head over the heels loyal to any product. Look at this. The people who were doing her hair did not know what they were doing. Her hair is still not even straight enough to be straightened. Her blowout looks crazy, and they use enough oil to fry a whole Thanksgiving turkey on her hair. So the reason that you have heat damage is because the temperatures are too high and you're frying your hair like chicken. Oh my God. Oh.
So just to dry down the roots. Hour thereabouts to get the whole head done, and this was my first time. I know with time it'll get easier and quicker.
When I first started my new line of work, I used to get really offended in my early 20s when I would hear people say like, oh my God, black women, why do they do things like this? Why do they, it's their fault that they're in this situation. And at one point I can no longer defend us. Like when we do things like this, I understand that for centuries we've been greasing the scalp, but the reason that our ancestors were greasing the scalp is because they were slaves in the field with the sunlight hitting the top of their head. So that was a form of sunscreen, heat protection, right? But we are no longer in that state. and our diets don't match theirs. We can't just say, oh, I'm gonna match their hair practices from the outside, but the things that I do on the internal level and the things that I eat, they're gonna be completely different. It doesn't work like that. And most black women believe that they're supposed to grease the scalp like this. So you've been doing this since you were a little girl, and then by the time you get to your mid 60s, you have to book a dermatologist or a trichologist like myself, or you have to come see a scientist like myself to get a new pattern and a routine set for yourself, because hair weathering takes 6 months to 25 years to set in. And every time I say that, I'll always get older black women that'll be in my comments like, oh, well, young girl, I'm 60 and I've been doing this for 30 years. That does not mean, oh, I've already passed my 6 months to 25 years. No, baby, that does not. It means that your body has been fighting in spite of you. And sometimes that buzzer won't start until like after you've been doing things for like 20 years. And then one day you just wake up and your body's like, you know what? I give up. I'm done. It's the same thing that happened with my father. My father ate whatever he wanted to eat. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what anybody had to say. He would be like, I ain't eating that little crap food. I ain't eating that food. I'm not going to say the word he used because I'm pretty sure it's racist, but like he would, I'm not eating that. And then one day my father's body shut down. One day my father saw blood in his urine, and after that it was just a downward spiral. And at a certain point you can't fix things with the human body. It doesn't work like that. And my father is no longer here on this earth with us, right? My father's been gone for 11 years, but the majority of it was because of the patterns and the routines that he followed that he just wouldn't let go of, because my ancestors, we've been eating like this for hundreds of years. We've been eating these it doesn't matter. Our habits need to change, and we have to grab hold to accountability like this video you watching here. In cosmetology school, there is not one module that teaches you how to deal with a situation like this. There is no point in cosmetology school when you learn how to sanitize somebody's scalp, or where you learn how to do this. This is not normal. And I know a lot of people say things like, oh, well, a lot of women have depression and a lot of women are depressed, and I'm not going to negate that that's true, but I stood behind a chair for over a decade, and the women who were coming in my salon with their hair like this were not depressed. They were lazy. I'm sorry. They were not depressed. They were lazy. Did I have maybe like one or two that it was due to depression and something big in the family? Yes, but the majority of them were not depressed. The majority just didn't want to pay for somebody to take it out, or they didn't want to have to pay for another sew-in. The majority of women thought that wherever they got a sew-in, that meant that they don't have to do their hair again until the sew-in is literally falling out of their hair. And I know a lot of cosmetologists like to do this. There are certain cosmetologists that'll be like, whatever, Cian, I love this. This is part of my job. But that is a cosmetologist that made that her specialty. But as a cosmetologist, this is not your job. Your personal hygiene is your job. And these are things that we have to think about. All of the tools that they're constantly putting out right now are tools that are put into place to make certain practices that every other woman on the planet has almost on a daily basis. Is something that is going to make it easier for you because you're black, right? So it gets exhausting because I don't want us to be that way. Like, I have no problem with them making products like that are great for women with curly hair and things of that nature, but why do all of the things that they make for black women have to defy the science? It have to be something completely opposite than what's supposed to happen. That doesn't have to happen. And this is the thing, if you feel like you can't stand cosmetologists so much that it's worth you buying a $600 whatever the hell that was, then you go right ahead. But I think it is one of the dumbest tools I've ever seen in my life. and we skip all of the processes because it's like, that's gonna take too long, so I'm gonna just find a tool that makes it so my hair can just go from curly to straight in one pass. And that is where you get heat damage. That is where you get hair shaft disorders. That's where you get all the breakage, because when you learn how to do your hair and you get in a pattern, then it becomes second nature. Slowly you go from your hair taking you 2 hours to do down to it taking an hour, down to 45 minutes. But it comes with repetition. So right now, this video, mind you, is sped up, so I'm not being aggressive with her hair at all. Her hair has already been properly detangled, and now I'm just giving her hair shaft a slight massage because she's getting a scalp and hair shaft detox. But I love YouTube because it gives you the ability to zoom in with your fingers if you're watching it on your phone. So at any time, stop it and zoom in on that brush. You'll see that none of her hair is in the brush. So please know that I'm being very, very gentle. This video is years old, so like I said, I don't remember the exact brush, but what I will do is leave other options below, so make sure that you're checking there because I'm gonna leave some other options below. But again, don't pay attention to that code because I don't even remember the website. This is a video from when I was standing behind the chair. But the great part about the fact that I did hair so long and I recorded all the videos is the fact that I have so many visual examples to give you, right? So as you can see, I am washing her hair, shampooing her hair, I'm sorry. And the thing is, I'm not dependent on the tool to do anything, right? I'm just simply demonstrating to you guys how to use the tool if you need it. But even in this video way back then, I said that I let them know, like, I'm demonstrating, but I'm not using this thing on every client because I'm just one of those skin and bones people. Like, I like to get down and dirty with my own hands. But if you are a person who has a lot of buildup on the hair shaft, it is a really, really good tool to use to help you with the shampooing process. But again, one of the many things, okay, that's exhausting is people come, there are a lot of new people coming over to my channel, and you guys watch one video and then you take one video and you're like, I understand what you're about in the science of hair. No, you don't. You will not understand something that I've been studying my entire adult life from watching one 15-minute video. You will not. I have hundreds of videos on my channel, and it will take time for you to break things down. I'm not promoting the 7-day challenge today, but that is what my 7-day challenge is about. You have options. You can either sit here on my channel and go through hundreds and hundreds of videos and piece things together, right? Or you can sign up for the 7-day challenge or the growth cycle blueprint, and I put everything and make it digestible for you. Plus you have a community, but that's neither here nor there. That is the reason that I have the 7-day challenge, but it's not something that you have to join. And I've had the 7-day challenge for years. It's been about, I want to say about 6 years that the 7-day challenge has been going on. About 6 years, you guys. I am not trying to get y'all to join it. We have people joining. We have at least like 10 new members every single day. I promise you, I'm not joining. I'm not trying to like pressure anybody to join. I'm not hurting for a new membership. All right, y'all can do the math on your own. I just really am so free now in my spirit and so free in my job now that I'm retired and I work for myself, that I love y'all so much that I really want to extend myself to help as much as I can. I know we in a recession and a lot of people won't be able to get the skin and bones in the 7-day challenge. I'm only going so deep, but here on my channel, if you lose your offense and you really sit down and try to digest the information, you'll be able to piece things together. And that is the point of my channel. So I really hope that these things make sense, right? But I want you guys to know that one of the most, if not the most important part of the whole entire process is the shampoo. And this is the portion of the entire service that most people cut out. If you are going to, if your motive in going to the hair salon is to find a hairstylist that cares about the health of your hair, that is focused on hair care, hair growth, and all of that, then you need not go to somebody who requires you to come with your hair washed. And that's not to say that they're not good at their job, and that's not to say that there's anything wrong with them, but you can't make people be the type of professional that you want them to be. That's why the licensing is separate. That's why you have a licensed braider. Those are the people who say, I don't care nothing about the human scalp and all of that. I don't care nothing about learning how to cut, color. I don't care. I just want to be able to braid legally and make my money. That's what a licensed braider is, right? That's what a licensed braider is able to do. Their job is not to care about your scalp. Their job is not to care about your ends. That's why they don't wash it. That's why they don't trim it. That's why they don't blow dry it, because it's about putting the braids in your head and getting the money from putting the braids in your head. That's it, and that's all, right? When it comes to hairstyling, it goes a little deeper, because a hairstylist does learn a little bit more about the scalp and the hair shaft, like basic treatment stuff, right? And a hairstylist can shampoo, blow dry, and flat iron your hair, but they can't use any chemicals. And a cosmetologist can do everything from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. So nails, lashes, waxing, you name it, in the hair salon or a spa, a cosmetologist is licensed to do it. So it's imperative for you to learn exactly what you need and go in looking for that. Don't pay any attention to that. Don't even worry about it, because I don't do products and stuff anymore. So now I am adding a conditioner, and anytime I see anything online where people are like, oh my God, you have to add this conditioner and the slip, you see this thick white cast on everybody's hair. And y'all, your hair is never supposed to look like that. You do not need to add all of those products to have shine and luster in your hair. Again, even though I say it in every video, I'm gonna say it multiple times, like there's a difference between combing and detangling, because I always get new people. I watched one of your videos and you said you can't comb your hair wet, but now you sitting here combing the hair, you can't do nothing with the hair wet, but now you detangling. No, I'm not. There's a difference between detangling and combing. Detangling is exactly what the word sounds like, removing knots and tangles. If there are no knots and tangles in the hair, you are combing the hair. Combing the hair is so important in so many different situations. Let's talk about hair color. If I was to color somebody's hair and take them from, let's say, like a blonde color or even like a honey blonde to a deep red, if I don't comb through the hair as the color is on the hair, there are going to be blank spots in the hair color where it'll still be blonde in some spots and red in some spots, because combing the hair is how you evenly distribute product. That's why brushing your hair on a regular basis is important, because brushing the hair is how you evenly distribute the sebum that is on your scalp. So many people are always like, oh my God, I oil the scalp because my hair is curly and the sebum won't flow down the hair shaft. Guess what? I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what texture your hair is. Sebum does not flow down anybody's hair shaft, because sebum is a wax. And please explain to me when you've ever seen a wax drip down like an oil. It doesn't happen. Sebum is a waxy substance, and you have to comb your hair to pull it down, because if you leave it sitting on the scalp, you send a signal to the sebaceous gland you don't need to produce anymore. She just has it just sitting on the scalp. So if you have a dry scalp, I'm telling you, the easiest way to produce sebum and to see it is to comb your hair, right? And to have a set pattern and a set routine that allows you to do that. And again, that's what like my courses and things of that nature are about. I give y'all the bare bones, but if you want to go deeper, then you'll have to join my challenge, right? So this is one of my clients that was Team Natural for real. This was one of this was our very first appointment. She had a consultation already. I did not book appointments without consultations because I don't ever want any lines of communication to get crossed. In yesterday's video, I'm going to leave it in the description box below because so many people say how hard it is to find cosmetologists and how hard it is to find hairstylists. And in that video, I gave you guys like exactly why, the reasoning behind why it's really hard for people to find cosmetologists. So make sure you go and watch that video because it puts stuff in perspective and you don't have to listen to my rant. Now, this beauty here was a coconut oil queen, and it did not matter how many times I shampooed her hair, I could not get this coconut oil out of her hair. And this was the absolute best I can do. And this was so many years ago. That's how you know I was washing it for years, because I could not get the coconut oil out. And the thing is, there is a chick that made coconut oil in the hair popular. I think she's a chemist. I'm not gonna say her name, and if I wanted to I couldn't because I don't know that woman's name. But all of you follow her because she told y'all to use coconut oil on your hair because coconut oil, it binds to protein, right? She was like, oh, it's hydrophobic, so it's gonna hold on to water. Listen, coconut oil binds to the protein in your hair. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is go look at the bottle for the keratin treatments. All keratin treatments, a lot of keratin treatments that you're using, one of the things that they use, especially if they're like, oh, I'm all natural and it has keratin in it, or it's a keratin treatment, smoothing treatment, any type of smoothing treatment, look at the ingredients. One of the main ingredients is going to be coconut. Why? Because coconut binds to protein. And what is a keratin treatment or a silk amino acid treatment or a texture release? What is their purpose? It is to bind to protein. So they add coconut oil within it because coconut oil is so good at binding to protein, and your hair is protein. So everybody put coconut oil in their hair because it's like, oh my god, it's gonna hold on to moisture. But what it really did is put a barrier there, because it is hydrophobic, which means it repels water. So it didn't matter how much body I wanted to give her hair, I really couldn't do it. And this is the first time she's putting heat on her hair in 3 years. Now, this video is old and I didn't really get a good angle, so you guys cannot see how bad her damage is from this angle. But her damage and her breakage goes all the way up to the nape of her neck. But her hair is pretty thick, so the hair on the top is so thick that it covers up the lines of demarcation on the bottom. But it was completely see-through, and it was split almost all the way up to the hair shaft. But the way I round brush, plus with the centuries of coconut oil that my boo still had on her hair, it did make her hair look a little smoother than it really was. But we had a whole lot of damage, right? So right now I'm doing a very specific type of haircut. I have a series coming soon that I'm going to have just for professionals, and I'm going to teach some of my techniques in it to my new cosmos, or to my cosmos that are seasoned but just want to learn a little something different. Let me know if you guys are interested in something like that. Link in the description box below. But yeah, now I'm just evening out her haircut everywhere, and I keep watching because after this haircut she is going to come back back some months later, or it's probably like a year later, and at this point she's just like, okay, I'm gonna just cut it off because it's getting even worse. And again, I think one of the main issues that people have is you guys think that hair care is a visual art, and it's not. I think that's one of the main reasons why I can't stand things like curly cuts and stuff like that, because there's no actual foundation to it. They just have scissors, and then they're cutting by eye just for a shape based on what looks good, based on a vanity metric, right? And for that reason, a lot of times the hair will be so uneven. So I'm going through, and whenever you do a haircut like this, you're making sure that no matter what way my client parts her hair, she has the same layers everywhere, or the same haircut no matter what way she parts it. That's why I go around like that. But we were still able to get her hair like looking really good and really healthy, but it was pivotal on all of her team natural practices changing. And we're gonna have a video with all of my gurus that are accountable, and some of you here on my channel that are so accountable, right? It is so important, because if you're not accountable, you don't know what you did wrong and you can't fix anything, right? But this is how her hair ended up turning out, which ended up being really good. But if whether or not her hair stayed this way was going to be dependent on her patterns and routines at home, right? Because all I could do is give you a good foundation, but it's up to you to make sure everything goes good. Just like when you go to the dentist, it's up to the dentist to give you a good cleaning and whatever else they do, but it's up to you, girl, to make sure you brush your teeth every day, girl. Like, it ain't their fault if your teeth fall out. You the one that ain't brush your teeth after you ate that double cheeseburger and them Jolly Ranchers and them Laffy Taffies, baby. So yeah, even at the top of her crown, we did have the beginning stages of CCCA, and we also had that conversation as well. And you know, like I said, as a cosmetologist, all I can do is give you my professional opinion. I cannot force you to do anything. I can't force you to listen to me. I can't go back and forth with you. And to be honest, if you're not booking a consultation, me doing all of that and me saying all of this isn't really my job either. My job is to give you the service that you booked. And if, let's say, per se, if you were a person who wasn't a candidate for a silk press, it's my professional opinion to say, okay, well, you have this hair shaft disorder, and for that reason, I don't think it's a good idea if you do a silk press. Maybe you should do this instead. And that's something that we're talking about in the challenge all the time. You guys cannot go straight from, okay, I got damaged hair, to I'm about to wear a silk press and I'm about to wear my hair healthy and straight. No, certain hairstyles are for women with healthy hair. Like certain protective styles, you're protecting healthy hair. You don't need a protective style for hair that's damaged. I'm sorry, because if you braid up hair that's damaged, and this is gonna play because I'm not about to stop talking and edit it out. If you do anything to damaged hair, when you unbraid it, it's just gonna be longer damaged hair. But like this, my boo, but we were still in the same team natural practices, our same wash and goes and all of that stuff, and she wasn't gonna stop. So she was just like, all right, just cut it off, because that'll be easier. And I was like, okay, cool, we can cut it off, because it literally split all the way up. And if we kept going, it would have split all the way up to the root. A lot of people don't know this, either A, because nobody ever told them, or B, because you just don't want to listen to people. There has to come a time where people really start saying, okay, like, I've tried every product out, I've bought all of the different things that they keep telling me to buy, and nothing's working. And the next product that comes out, I'm probably gonna buy that too, in hope and the prayer, in hopes that this one works, that this time one of these products work. Listen, it makes no sense. Every year, every month, y'all buying a new product. First it was the RevAir air blow dryer, now it's this $600 thing. Listen, when they say that it's with no heat, it is a play on words. Forget that. We're talking about bonds. Irregardless of if whether or not you using high levels of heat, of whether or not you seeing smoke or not, you are still taking your hair from alpha keratin to beta keratin. Alpha keratin is your hair in its natural state, and beta keratin is the state that your hair is in until you wet it again with water. Whether you're using a roller set, whether you are using a blow dryer, whether you're using a flat iron, all of these things, you are still setting the bond. So when they say with no heat, it is a play on words. They playing right in your face, and they know that because you are so scared of flat irons and blow dryers because you think they're the devil, they know that as long as they say it don't have no heat, you're gonna buy it without even thinking, like, does it matter if it doesn't have heat? Because you can damage the disulfide bonds in so many different ways. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Did you know you can get heat damage in your hair from standing outside in the sun for too long? They're playing directly in y'all face, and it's been happening forever. The video that y'all are watching right now is 7 years old. So when you come in my comments and you're like, I don't believe you, and you don't, I'm not arguing with you. I'm either gonna say something funny and be a smart ass, or I'm gonna delete your comment, and if you come back again, I'm gonna block you, and people can say whatever they want to say. I have no patience for it. I've been doing this for so long, and I would be more open and willing to discuss certain things if things had changed. Everybody has the same forms of breakage that they had when I was doing hair and when I was standing behind the chair 7 years ago. Nothing's changed in almost a decade. A couple more years, that'll be another decade that's went by. Everybody still has the same practices, getting the same damage, and have the same accountability level, which is 0. And that's where the problem lies, because I will have you know that the majority of the women that are in my courses are women who did not believe me at first, and sat there and watched my videos and said, I'm about to do this just to prove her wrong. One of the gurus told me that she literally started a YouTube channel just to prove me wrong, and had to scratch her videos because her hair felt the best that it had ever felt when she just did it my way. Get into it. You don't see me adding a whole bunch of reviews to my channel. I mean, sometimes I do, but you don't see me going crazy with the reviews because I don't have to. I've been doing the 7-day challenge. It's almost 7 years old, baby. Like a couple years shy, 7 years, but almost. I started the 7-day challenge whenever I stopped doing hair. That was what I did instead of standing behind the chair. I took my passion that I had behind the chair and I put it into a course, right? Now she's getting a relaxer. Why is she getting a relaxer? She's getting a relaxer because her texture is not the type of texture that you have a pixie cut with unless you have a relaxer. Relaxers have been demonized by the Team Natural community, and now everybody's laxing or texture releasing, keratin treatments or silk aminos. Give me the regular old relaxer, baby, for $200, baby. All right, not saying it's $200. I was being funny, like a game show, but anyway, her scalp has already been properly based. She is using a relaxer for her porosity level and for her scalp's profile. It is a professional relaxer, yes ma'am, and there are steps and procedures that I'm following. There is a first step that I follow to prep her scalp, then another step I do to prep her hair shaft, then I apply the relaxer, then I smooth it in. I'm not rubbing it into her scalp, but smoothing. And if you've been to cosmetology school, my baby, you know the difference, baby, right? And then after that, I'm going to shampoo her hair with a pH shampoo. make sure you're not just washing your hair with pH shampoo for no reason, because it is to stop a chemical process. That's what that product is for, and to balance the pH level of your hair, right? So if you want to balance the pH level, you don't have to do it with the pH shampoo. You can do it with other things. Joico is amazing because Joico has all of the pH levels on the actual bottles, if that is your focus. So Joico is great. I'll leave some products from Joico below this video, so make sure you check it out, baby. Check it out. But now that her hair has been molded, I am going to, well, no, I don't know if I molded it yet because I wasn't paying attention. I don't know, but now I'm just going through and making sure that I do a really good job checking her haircut. And the way that I'm cutting her hair, I'm doing it exactly to the picture that she showed me. Like, it is down to the T. It looked exactly like the picture. She even looked cuter than the picture, if you ask me. But we decided to keep a little bit at the top. I wanted to keep a lot more, but she was like, no, I do not want to deal with this hair. Cut it off, get rid of it. And this is the thing, I really think that you guys should just really sit down and think about what you want to do with your hair. If you are a person who for the rest of your life you don't ever want to have to touch your hair, and you just want to put it up and get locks. The locks are freaking amazing. They're beautiful. Now, everybody is not a candidate for locks, but if your hair is thick enough and if your scalp is healthy enough, then baby, get locks. But understand that if you have a hair shaft disorder and if you have a scalp disorder, getting locks is not going to stop it. You can still have your hair shaft split all the way up to the root while it's in locks. So that's something that I want you to think about. But if you make sure that your ends are even before you lock your hair, then you good. Obviously, once your hair locked, you can't unlock it and trim the ends. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm sorry if anybody's like, duh, Sin, but if I don't say that, people really be, how am I supposed to comb my hair every day if I got box braids? Oh my God, girl, I'm not talking to you. Oh, but anyway, so now I am using foam wrap, and I am just going to go ahead and mold her hair down. At this point, the only thing that is on her hair is shampoo, conditioner. The conditioner, of course, was rinsed out. She has leave-in conditioner on her hair, and now this foam wrap. And then after that, all I'm going to do is use a heat protectant as I flat iron her hair, and a little bit of serum at the very end. Her hair will not be saturated in product. And again, I'm doing this to set the bond, and the reason that I'm doing that is because a pixie is supposed to fit the curvature of your head. So that's why you mold it down to fit the curvature of the head, baby. So now again, I'm cutting again just to make sure that everything is fitting her head properly. But this is something that is going to make it easier for her because she does not want to be in her hair, and the patterns and the routines that she's using that she thinks is better for her hair is making her go bald. It was making her go bald in the middle of her head. So we were like, okay, it'll be better for you to just go ahead and get a short pixie, or for you to get something shorter that is easier for you to manage. I told her to get a bob at first. She was like, nope, that bob gonna be too much, let's do this. So that is what we ended up doing. And in this case, it made it a lot easier for her to be able to start over. At this point, she is rid of that hair shaft disorder. I did not relax her hair 100%. I only relaxed her hair about 60%. That's what you learn in cosmetology school. You're never supposed to make anybody's hair 100% straight with a relaxer. And again, that's why when people are like, oh, anti-relaxer, the reason that y'all had cancer and all of those different things for relaxers is because y'all didn't follow directions and y'all used it wrong. I've never met a woman who did a relaxer at home who didn't leave the relaxer on her hair until her hair was bone straight. And then you do that, you get scabs, your hair is falling out. It's because you did it wrong. You're not supposed to do that. Anyway, The flat iron that I'm using, I will leave all of my recommended flat irons for what I'm doing in my Amazon store, so check my Amazon store. But I really want y'all to grab hold to what I'm saying in this video, right? We started off with everybody taking all of these shortcuts. Am I saying you gotta go see a cosmetologist? No, I'm not. Just like I'm not saying you gotta go to the dentist every day before you brush your teeth. That's not what I'm saying. Your cosmetologist, I'm honestly, I'm down with you going to see your cosmetologist when you need a trim, as long as you're able to have proper patterns and routines in between. But if in between your appointments you're walking around with wet hair, then I don't know. Like I don't know. So it's up to you. It's just a matter of what you're trying to accomplish and what type of changes you're trying to make. And the thing is, I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything. If you still want to wash and go, you want to use rice nipple juice, and you want to use this $500 or whatever the hell it is, then you go right ahead. Okay, you go right ahead. You use that glory hole blow dryer, you do it. But as a professional cosmetologist, I have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on my craft and on my education. I have no problem spending money on hair, but I would never buy any of these products that y'all are talking about. Never. The most I've ever spent on a blow dryer is $200, and that's a blow dryer I was using on 13 women a day, 5-6 days a week. So this is how her hair ended up turning out. One of my favorite clients, right? When you figure out what you want to do, it's your cosmetologist's job to help you bring that to fruition. And there are so many amazing cosmetologists out here. And again, I'm going to give you even more proof that once you set a pattern, you can find a great one. I'm going to give you guys some proof to it, because I'm going to be highlighting all of the gurus that have been doing amazing work in the challenge, and they all have amazing stylists, right? So let me know what you think about this conversation in the description box below. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how you cannot learn how to grow your hair on your head from listening and following patterns for someone's beard on their face, because the hair growth cycle for a beard and the hair growth cycle on your head are two completely different things. Let me know when you're ready for that combo. Bye.